All right, folks. So, like I said in the previous video, that stonework video, I have this piece of granite that I found just on the walk somewhere. Whenever I find a nice piece of granite, I just grab it because I just love granite, and it's not super common here on the west coast of Ireland. You'll find plenty on the east coast, but on the west coast, you don't just see it everywhere. And I love granite because where I grew up in Brittany, it's just granite land, and I think it's just a beautiful stone. So I've actually smoothed it out, and what I wanted to do is actually use this as a base, and see if I can actually just carve out Fiona and Ollie. It's a bit uneven here, but we'll put that down to just natural aging. But I've smoothed it as best as I can with the angle grinder and the diamond blade while I had it. So let's see what I can do here. I'm just going to take... oh, by the way, I've rearranged... I got this guy recently, and I've sort of rearranged my my workshop quite a bit. I know it doesn't look like it is, but I've just cleared all the monitors. I've put everything upstairs, and I've quite a treasure trove of monitors here. I actually posted this on social media a while back. But yeah, there's monitors behind monitors and all the way over there. So I've all shapes and sizes. So I'm quite sorted. I just need to repair a lot of them, see if they work. I'm gonna have to just part with a few of them. Maybe swap them or sell. I'll see. I'm not sure what I want to do with all of them. I love these little 9 inches ones. I've used one. I'm using one as a test monitor on my workbench in the house. But anyway, so this is I've rearranged my old layout, and I want to get a bandsaw at some point. Probably just flatten here and just put the bandsaw here somewhere. I'll see. I need to I needed to rehash this whole setup and making workable for me. So anyway, gonna get the Dremel, and just gonna draw it with a Sharpie and then see if that works. I have no idea if it'll work. Fiona and Ollie. Okay, Sharpie. It's not quite even, but we'll correct the L's and a few things as I'm carving. Okay, well, let's set up the Dremel tool. All right, so sort of halfway there. You can see actually having the gashes here actually just prevents from reading the Fiona part properly. It's got a F-I-N, sort of crooked N here. I'm not happy about that, but it is granite, it is stone. Ollie, I started with these because they were actually just the easier shapes, just to practice. And I think my my head sort of eroded halfway. Can I even just zoom enough? Come on. It's smooth now. So might need to order just proper stone. This was actually for metal engraving, but oops, hasn't done too bad. I ended up using those drills and those heads, but they don't. Again, it's for metal. It's not ideal for stone. So I'll see if I can find better bits. Even order some, and I'll continue here. The other option is to actually just sort of hand carve it, but I want to do like kind of bigger work before I start hand carving something that fine, and I'm not sure that's ideal. So yeah, the N, I need to extend the N here. Maybe make that F a bit more. I mean, you can read it. Maybe not at this angle. It's hard to say. Fior. It looks like a F-I-O-I. Fioila. So yeah, I need more, sort of more definition in that N. Extend the leg here slightly more and just carve out that kind of bridge. And the A actually just isn't great either. So I'll keep working, see what else I can find to carve this. But as I say, it's getting there. It'll look cool, you know, hopefully. Yeah, there you go. It's much more easier to read. Actually, the E. No, the E is okay. It just depends on the angle, but it's sort of inevitable with just carving like that. Hopefully, on the outside, it'll be actually, yeah, no, that's much better. So I just went in a bit deeper on each letter with the Dremel bit, and I actually burnt one bit because I was going too fast, and that can happen. So you actually need to have the Dremel on the low setting. It's a bit slower, but it prevents it from burning out. And I have this container of water, and I would just apply water regularly, and it actually keeps all the stuff that you've ground around, and that acts as a kind of sanding agent as well. So after a while, it just speeds up especially if you wet it. So but it takes a while. You just have to be slow and patient. So I ended up just sanding the surface as well with some just different grit. I started with just the angle grinder and some of the sanding pads there. Went from like what it was, 80, 120. I think I had some 200 something, 250 or 240. The next one was this 600 paper. That's all I had available. 1200 and then 2000. I have a 150. I didn't know about that, but I used the 2000 here. It's that 2000 just as a finishing, just wet sand, just to get sort of a kind of nice glossy smooth finish. So I'm going to just put this pretty much, I think I'm done. I'm going to put this on the front gate, see what it looks like there. There you go. It's hard to read because it's currently in the shade, but I've had this for a few days now here, and when the sun comes around this way, it actually hits the letter at an angle, and you can actually read it from the road, which is pretty cool. Actually, it's a lot easier to read from a distance. Probably doesn't show on the camera, but yeah, there you go. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I know here with the shade, I can't do much about this. It's a bit harder to read, but trust me, it actually reads pretty well. So I'm happy with this. There you go. That was cool to do. I don't know what I'll do with that sort of scale yet, but it's handy to have, like if I want to just carve extra stuff, or maybe, you know, present for friends or stuff like that. But there you go, folks. This was a bit of a change from the usual electronics video, but this is a DIY channel after all, not just arcade electronics. Folks, thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can find me on well, pretty much everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. There's a Discord server, and if you want to help the channel, there's a Patreon page. Folks, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.